Excuse me, sir, is this the Delta House?
Sure. Come on in.
They have cold beer and action on the game.
I'm shocked to find that gambling is going on in here.
It's time for the Degenerates Next Door.
Dollar bills, y'all.
Have a holly jolly Christmas, baby. It is Degenerate Christmas. It's the opening night of the NFL. And if you're somebody that has been waiting for those parlays, for those teasers, for the prop bets, for all things that go into the National Football League, Merry freaking Christmas. My name is Jason Hammer. I do the Hammer and Nigel show in Indianapolis, and I'm joined by former elected official, unofficial mayor of Brownsburg, Indiana, a tax-cutting machine, and a #1 rated radio host in his own right, Rob Kendall. Rob, we have meaningful football games tonight, Friday, college games on Saturday, a full NFL slate Sunday, and then Monday Night Football. And my friend, this is our lives moving forward until mid-January.
That's right. I don't know about you, but I make a deal with my wife. Basically, from February till August, I'll be a husband and a father. But then after that, don't ask me to do anything.
That's right. It's all about the leverage, right? You build up enough goodwill that you can be just a rotten husband, an even worse father, and a degenerate during the weekends of football season. Yeah. That's what it's about.
Yeah, and you don't tell your wife before you get married about that. That's it's a little addendum to the contract.
Right. And a lot of newly married dudes sometimes struggle with this. Like when they tell their wives, hey, football season, I'm unavailable on weekends. They laugh, they joke, they think it's cute, and they still schedule a trip to Home Depot. The look on their faces when you just come down the stairs in basketball shorts, the same shirt you wore the night before, and you have been working on a brisket for 12 hours, it's a look of shock and awe on that little lady's face.
Yeah, your goal in life should be the person, when you're married, to be the person you were when you were single. That's really should be the goal in life as a man.
And it's all about the give and take, right? I'm willing to accept all of these Amazon boxes showing up on my front door, to which I don't even know what they are.
Yeah.
I'm willing to accept the trips to the salon and the nail place and all that kind of stuff. If you're willing to accept that on Saturday, I'm betting on a guy named Maverick MacGyver.
Yep.
And on Sunday, I'm going to put my big fat ass on that couch. I'm going to eat, I'm going to drink, and I'm not going to move.
Yeah, and you're naming a lot of companies there, Hammer, and that leads me to our opening salvo here today. If you'd like us to mention your company.
That's right.
If you want to see two guys that are two of the greatest shills known to man.
Great salesmen.
Jason Allen Hammer, Rob Kendall, that's us. We would love the opportunity to sit down with you, show you our charm and charisma in person, and potentially provide support for your product on this program.
We're each #1 rated radio hosts in a large, major market, and the people that partner with us, they love us. I'm just saying, if you want to be the sponsor of this show,
we are relentless. We are relentless in hawking your product. We will get to the level of obnoxious to get people through your door. How can people find us, Hammer?
Just email me directly, Hammer and Nigel at WIBC. That's the home radio station that I work at here in Indianapolis. Hammer and Nigel at WIBC.com, or follow us on Twitter at Gambling Stuff. That's all, at Gambling Stuff. Send us a message. We'll start, sliding into each other's DMs. Bada bing, bada boom. Now, before we start picking games here, and we got some fun to be had, can I just talk about how disappointing it is that the Red Zone will now have commercials on it?
So you've been a Red Zone person.
I have been a Red Zone guy. I wish this country would take the same anger at the Cracker Barrel logo change and apply that to having 7 hours of commercial-free football go out the window.
Okay, I got to make a confession, but this won't shock you because we factored this into our show. Because I'm a very, very cheap person.
Very cheap, very poor.
I've never actually seen a Red Zone.
You're the only politician that lost money in office because you didn't take any bribes.
That's right. Yes, that's true. I was poorer when I left than when I went in. I've never actually seen a Red Zone. it's just all the games are on at one time? Is that how it works?
They take you game to game. Wherever there's action.
Oh, yeah.
The host, Scott Hansen, will jump on, hey, let's go to Baltimore. The Ravens are in the red zone. Hey, we've got a trip to the red zone in Indianapolis. Let's go.
Yeah, okay. Interesting. That makes sense. And so literally, if you're not invested in one team, like when the Colts play, we're in Indianapolis, you'll watch that game. But if you're just invested in football, you can see all the need-to-see things from one sitting.
Right. If your team plays in the 4 o'clock window, from 1 o'clock to 4, it's the red zone. If your team has a bye that week, it's wall-to-wall red zone. Now, imagine what we had and what it's going to look like, okay? So last year, 7 hours of commercial-free football. You're a Bears fan.
Yeah.
Take this Hail Mary play from Washington and Chicago last year, okay? The world-famous Hail Mary. And now that ESPN has ruined the red zone, and we knew it was coming. It's not a surprise.
ESPN ruins everything.
ESPN has ruined the red zone. This is what that same play would sound like if you were watching this year.
Comes down to one last play. Here comes the Hail Mary with the game on the line. And the ball is...
Whopper, Junior, double,
Can you imagine?
Whopper.
That's what it's going to be like now. See what they've taken from us.
And you still have to pay for this even though it has commercials?
You still have to pay for it, even though it has commercials.
Wow.
Now, if you've already purchased Red Zone, I believe it comes, prorated to your cable package. I don't know. I'm not Jim Carrey and the cable guy here. But, man, I feel like we're going to be those old guys one day talking about how far we walk to school every morning. We had 7 hours of commercial-free football, and we didn't know how good it was.
Yep.
And now we've got this crap. All right, that being said, I want action tonight.
I want action tonight. Satisfaction all night.
America's team, Jerry's boys, the Dallas Cowboys at the Eagles. This is around 8.5. It was 8.5 pretty much everywhere last night, seeing it down to 8 in some spots. I believe FanDuel still has this at 8.5. The over-under at 47.5. Now, since the Cowboys traded Micah Parsons, this line went up 2 full points, Rob. It was 6.5. And then the Micah Parsons trade happened, and it went to 8.5. Now,
wait. Is an injured Micah Parsons actually worth 2 whole points?
That's what I'm wondering. That's like a quarterback-esque line move.
Yeah.
Like if Patrick Mahomes woke up this morning and was now listed as out for the game Friday, the line would go down 2 points.
Oh, totally.
At least. Is a linebacker really that big of a loss for the Dallas Cowboys to where 2 points are impacted? And look at the way that he plays to what the Eagles do. The Eagles, it's not like Peyton Manning and Tom Brady are going to drop back, 60 times and try to shred you through the air. They want to ground it out. Jalen Hurts will pass the ball, but they want to hand the ball to Saquon Barkley. They want to do the tush-push when they get in the red zone. So a linebacker that rushes the passer being replaced by somebody who's not as good but competent against the run, to me is not worth 2 points. And let's talk about divisional dogs. You guys know how I feel about this. Home teams and divisional dogs. Since 2019, home teams in the NFL, not just divisional matchups, but anybody, home teams have only covered 45%. Now, the rest of the weeks, it's 49, so it's about half. But in week 1, home teams only cover about 45%. Divisional dogs usually do well. More so at home than on the road. The Cowboys are on the road here. But Dak Prescott usually plays pretty well in Philadelphia. His last 4 games in Philly. Now keep in mind, he did not play in Philly last year. December of 23. 24 out of 39, 2 touchdowns, no picks. December of 22. 27 for 35. 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. January of 2022, 21 out of 27, 5 touchdowns, no picks. And September of 2021, 21 out of 26, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Now, Rob, if my Ball State education is correct, that's 13 touchdowns, just 1 pick in his last 4 games at what we believe is to be a very hostile environment. So I expect Dak to be a little rusty here, but he certainly isn't scared. And I know the Cowboys have had some retooling, but my God, this is such a big number, I can't ignore it. Give me the Cowboys. I want 8.5. I'm scooping up those points. Divisional dogs in week 1. Let's go, baby.
I like it. I would take that bet, too. I kind of looked at your pick, and I thought, I wish I had that game to bet on because 8.5 is a lot of points.
If you're looking for some prop bets tonight, again, I'm not a parlay guy. You guys know that. I think parlay bets are sucker bets. I make all these individual. You do you, though. Dak Prescott, over 36.5 attempts. If you think the Cowboys are going to knock off the defending Super Bowl champions in their own house, it ain't going to be because they're running the ball. Either they're doing well or they're playing from behind. Either way, it's getting aired out. Over 36.5 passing attempts for Dak Prescott tonight. And I wanted something with some juice to it. I wanted plus money.
Oh, yeah.
A.J. Brown, anytime touchdown, I can get that at plus 123 for the Eagles tonight. A.J. Brown, been a popular target in the red zone for Jalen Hurts, especially down the stretch last year for the Eagles. I think that continues. Plus money, anytime, touchdown, A.J. Brown. Those are my plays for tonight. Now, let's move on to the big game. The game of the week, the Ravens at the Bills. And, Rob, here's what's interesting. This is why it's important to shop around.
Yeah.
Now, if you're married to a certain sports book, it is what it is. But if you've got accounts in other places, this could be key. Because on some books, like Bet Rivers, like Caesars, I'm seeing the Ravens, at the time of this podcast, which is noon on a Thursday, the Ravens as a 0.5 favorite on the road. Basically a pick 'em.
Yep.
0.5. FanDuel has this at 1.5.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big jump up, Rob. Ravens at the Bills, over under 50 to 50.5. Where are you leaning?
And by the way, I think that line changed. I think the Bills were a favorite earlier, and I think there's been some money come in on the Ravens. Okay. I hate everything about this game, and because, look, it's at Buffalo, and the Bills are very tough at home, but I think the Ravens are a better team. They should have won that game last year if that old Butterfingers could have caught the ball. However, that won me the bet that he dropped, so I'm not complaining. I had the Bills in that game. Very rare instance where it worked out in my favor. So I don't know how to bet that. It's basically a pick 'em game. So let's look at the total. 50.5 is a massive number. I get it. However, these two teams combined for 52 in that freezing, nasty weather the last time they met. It should have been more if old Butterfingers had caught the ball. You know Lamar's going to try to put on a show. Mr. Ground and Pound Derrick Henry will be there as well. Buffalo's out some dudes on defense. I'm going to go over 50.5, even though that is like 13 points a quarter I got to get past that.
So what you're saying is that you are Captain Over.
Gentlemen, I'd like you to meet your captain, Captain Over.
Gentlemen, welcome aboard.
Captain, your navigator, Mr. Unger, and your first officer, Mr. Dunn.
Unger? Over. Over.
Done. So, Rob, you are over 50 to 50.5.
Am I an idiot? Well, I mean, I am, but I mean, for this pick.
I think you've answered that question already. But no, you're right, though. I mean, it's opening day. Now, the defenses have had a full year to prepare, but so have the offenses.
Yeah.
Right? And you might see a little rust early on because none of these dudes played in the preseason. But in the second half, that's where I think your toes start tapping.
Yeah, I probably should have looked at the second half. But anyway, that's what I'm going with, over 50.5.
If this game were in week 5 or 6 of the regular season or later, I think that number would be higher.
I agree.
I am looking at the Buffalo Bills in this one. And if FanDuel is going to give me 1.5, I'm going to take it because I think this is going to be a pretty close game. I just think Buffalo's at home, and that's the only difference here. I wish I had a sexy breakdown with statistics and all this kind of stuff. The Bills have won their last 10 home games. The home team in this Ravens and Bills matchup usually covers the spread. I think it's like 7 out of the last 8, the home team has covered the spread here. Buffalo's at home. It's opening day. Give me Buffalo. It's that simple. If this were in Baltimore, my pick would be the Ravens, but it's in Buffalo. I'm going to ride with the Fighting Josh Allens. All right, let's see what our professional handicappers think. We've got Kenny Britt of KB Sports and David Stephanoff of Follow Never Fade. They're both coming up, and we're going to make each one of them pick this Ravens and Bills game, a fun way to bet on this game, and another free NFL pick for you. Because that's what we do around here. We take the professionals who do this for a living and we strong-arm them like a Soviet strongman used to do in the Soviet Union, and we make them give you free plays. They're coming up next. We are the Degenerates next. Merry Christmas, everyone. It is Degenerate Christmas, the opening night of the NFL season, meaning we have got meaningful football games tonight, tomorrow, college football games on Saturday, NFL Sunday, Monday Night Football, and this is our life now, baby. This is us moving forward. It's like this every weekend until January. Kenny Britt is a professional handicapper, one of our favorites, the man behind KB Sports. Merry Degenerate Christmas, my friend.
Merry Degenerate Christmas to you. My wife tells everybody that on Labor Day weekend, she's divorced for 4 to 5 months. I'm on degenerate overload big time. I'm sitting out in the parking lot of the Horseshoe, Indianapolis. As soon as we get done with this, I'm going in. They got live racing going on today here at Indy. Got Kentucky Downs going on. I'll be home about an hour before kickoff tonight. So I'm on degenerate overload for the next 5 days, Jason, and I am pumped and ready.
All right, so I gave my play for the game tonight, but what we've tasked you guys to do, you and David are professional handicappers, along with Rob and myself, the biggest game on the board, the game of the week. We're going to have picks on that every week. We don't shy away from that. We do that on the college show. We do that here on the NFL pod. And the big one, Sunday night, the Ravens at the Bills. Kenny, in essence, a pick 'em in some spots, Ravens being a 0.5 favorite, but FanDuel has this at 1.5. That's a pretty big jump in numbers. If you're not wed to a single sports book, this could be big. Rob is on the over. I'm on the Bills. Where are you, Kenny Britt?
Wow, Rob's getting off his under train, huh? That's been good to him. Wow. This is a great game. There's a few great games this weekend. Looking back at past history, last year's game went over in the playoffs, but these games typically go under. So I'm going to give a small lean to the under 50.5. I'm going to be really interested to see how DeAndre Hopkins plays. He's 33 years old. Baltimore's got him this year. Back in the day, he was the best receiver in the league for a couple years. Really be interested to see how he plays. A little concerned about Buffalo's wide receivers. I don't know. I just don't know if they've got what it's going to take. And, with quarterback Josh Allen, this guy's a kamikaze.
Right.
I love him, but I'm leaning towards the under. 4 of the 5 or 5 of the 6. I'm not sure now. Games have gone under. So I'm going to go under the 50.5 on that game, Jason.
Okay. So you're on the under. Rob's on the over.
Yep.
I'm on the Bills just for the mere fact that they're at home. I would have taken the home team here, whoever it was. Had this been a Ravens home game, I'd be on the Ravens. But the Bills, 10 straight wins at home. And it feels like whoever is at home in these head-to-head matchups between the Ravens and the Bills usually covers. So I wish I had a better breakdown, but Buffalo being at home is my lean there. And our other professional handicapper, David Stephanoff, is coming up next, and we'll find out what he thinks about this one. So that's the game of the week. Give us one other play that has your attention.
My next game, I'm going to put my money where my mouth has been since January. My sleeper team of the year. I've got them on a future to win the division and to make the playoffs. I'm going with the Falcons plus 1.5.
Okay.
I've talked about them since February. They're at home against Tampa, getting a 1.5, so, basically a pick 'em. But I just think this offense has the potential to be a juggernaut. You got, if Penix can not kill his receivers, because the guy can throw the ball like John Elway. I mean, he's got a cannon. Robinson, Pitts, Drake London. I think offensively this team can be really, 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 really strong. So I'm going to start out week 1 and put my money where my mouth has been all summer and go with the Falcons at home plus 1.5. And I did have a couple questions for you just real quick on 2 games that the lines to me were a little funny. I like the part of my handicapping, Jason, is I make the lines before I look at them.
Sure.
And I'm usually really close. Game 1, Washington has only been 5 to 5.5 over the Giants. It just went up to 6 today. So that's one game that I think should have been about 9. I wanted your thoughts on that one. And then the second one was going to be Green Bay, Detroit. Green Bay's been 3.5, gone down to 2.5 today. That Lambeau Field, I get that. But, Jordan Love had a pin put in his hand 3 weeks ago. Jaden Reed might not play. A lot of questions at wide receiver. I know Golden has gotten a lot of great reps and press this summer. But to me, Detroit should be favored. So those 2 games, I just wanted to see what your thoughts on them were real quick, if you've had a chance to dive into them yet.
So let's start with this Lions-Packers game. It feels like this is the coordinator situation. The Lions hanging their hat on that offense, losing their coordinator, who's now the head coach at the Chicago Bears. Possible adjustment period there for that one. Now, as for the Giants, you think that number should be higher. You know where I'm at on week 1 divisional dogs. You look at the number, man. Week 1 divisional dogs bark. Now, especially the home divisional dogs, which takes us into like Chicago and a couple other places here, Cleveland. But I'm not mad at the Giants getting that amount of points. It feels like that's an awful lot for a divisional matchup in week 1.
That's a fair assessment. Gotcha. And I've always told my brother-in-law, the NFC East and the AFC West, those games, it doesn't matter, man. Those crazy things happen in those 2 divisions head-to-head.
Absolutely, man.
Hey, I got a prop for you tonight, because I know you do. You love your props. Javonte Williams over 34.5 yards tonight. That's an awful low number for a starting quarterback. Or, I'm sorry, starting running back, I'm sorry. Over 34.5, yeah.
Okay, all right. We'll put that on the mix here because prop-wise tonight, we're riding Dak Prescott over 36.5 attempts and anytime touchdown. I wanted something with plus money, so I want anytime touchdown A.J. Brown, and I got that at plus 123.
That's not bad at all. Not bad at all.
Hey, man, if somebody wants to become a client of yours, college football, NFL, horse racing, where can they go?
Yes, sir. I am on Facebook on KB Sports. Last week in college football, we went 5-5, which we didn't win money, but boy, a whole lot of people lost money and we didn't. Vegas made a killing last week. We didn't take part in that. So we had a okay week for last week. Starting off this week, $30 for the weekend. That's Thursday through Monday is a football weekend. $30 for the weekend, or $275 for the entire year. That's all the way through the playoffs, college and pro. Facebook, KB Sports. And Jason, I am going to head into the track and play some ponies all day.
Be a degenerate, my friend, and we will talk again Tuesday for the college football show.
All right, guys. Good luck this weekend.
And now we turn our attention to another professional handicapper, because that's what we do here on the Degenerates Next Door. We bring in the pros and we strong arm them. We make them give you free plays. We boss them around a little bit. But man, they're really good at what they do. David Stephanoff, the man behind Follow Never Fade, joins us. And David, I'll tell you the same thing I told Kenny. Merry Degenerate Christmas. It's the opening night of the NFL.
This is what most grown men over the age of 18 look for today. Is more than anything, more than our wedding days. Yes, football is officially back with everything. I think we got football games for the next 4 months.
I'm here for it, man. I'm here for it. And we've got a big one. We've got the Ravens at the Bills. Now, again, the line, it's a little interesting here. 0.5 in some places. FanDuel has this at 1.5 in favor of the Ravens going on the road to Buffalo. The total is right around 50 to 50.5, depending on where you're looking at. What's your approach to this big game on Sunday night, David?
My approach is we got to do it with all NFL games week one. You got to be cautious. Vegas is just like us. They don't have any clue, basically, among most of these teams, what's going to happen. That's why most of these lines are 2.5, 3. Pick them on this game. This is a week where you got to be cautious. Vegas has no clue. This is, in my opinion, this is a week you don't play any teasers because Vegas has no clue. If you're going to play a teaser this week, if you win a teaser, more than likely your team was going to cover or win outright anyways. But that being said, this week one of with this game with Baltimore and Buffalo here, it's too early in the season to know exactly what's going to happen. But both these defenses were suspect last year. We know what we're getting with coaching. We know what we're getting with quarterbacks. Vegas is going to be. Vegas is going to clean up regardless. You have to be cautious week one. It's just too many unanswered things going to happen.
So you're looking at this total, I believe, David, of
Yes,
50 to 50.5. Now, Rob is on the over. Kenny is on the under. Where are you?
I'm with the mayor of Brownsburg, Rob Kendall, on the over here. I really believe if this game was played week 8, this total will be at least 52 to 53 points. I really believe that. I don't think we're going to have any problems with some offense here. Too many unanswered questions on defense. Both secondaries last year were suspect to give up passing and the run, get gashed on the run. I think the over 50 is safe here. I see both teams getting 4 touchdowns. I don't see no problem there. I like the over 50 here. I'm with the mayor of Brownsburg here on this one. I like the over 50. A lot of fireworks here Sunday night. It'll be a good game. I can't tell you. I don't know who's going to win the game. I don't know. I think Buffalo at the end of the year has a better chance to win the Super Bowl because we know Lamar Jackson's he can't win the big games. But I'm tending to like the over here. The over 50 is my play, Jammer.
All right. I'm riding the Bills tonight, again, just because they're at home. Had the Ravens been at home here, David, I'd probably be on the Ravens. But Buffalo just seems different at home. And historically, when the Ravens play the Bills, the home team usually covers. That's how this back and forth has been between the Ravens and the Bills. So I'm on Buffalo. Give me another play that has your attention.
I'm going to go to Cleveland. Flacco versus Burrow. Now, I'm going to concentrate on the first half here. The first half spread between Cincy and Cleveland is only 3. I like Cincinnati -3 first half only. I think I don't think Flacco and Cleveland's best part of the team is going to be their defense. Flacco, we already know, is old as a dinosaur.
Right.
Burrow and them got an offense. Their offense is getting better. The running backs a year older. They're good like fine wine. The Bengals offense is. I just think they can cover the first half -3. Big note here on this game. I seen a tidbit note that Zach Taylor's 1-11 his last 4 years in the first 3 weeks of the season. So I like the Bengals here just from the first half, minus the 3 points over the Cleveland Browns.
And David, this is one of those games where the casual fan would look at the full game line and be like, well, I bet Cincinnati would blow these dudes out. But historically, for whatever reason, just like the Jags always beat the Colts no matter who's good and who's bad, the Browns always find a way to play Cincinnati really well.
Just muck it up, make it ugly. It's the only way Cleveland's going to have a chance to win. Run the ball and make it ugly. We know Joe Flacco's not going to beat you with his arm or his legs. We just hope maybe the Bengals can change things around. Like Zach Taylor's not very good at the beginning of the season. That's why they're always playing from behind, always trying to make the playoffs late. That's why we're going to take the -3 first half and watch the first half and turn on the Colts and Dolphins.
There we go. David, if somebody wants to become a client of yours, which includes pretty much everything. We're doing college football, NFL. You're a tennis, baseball betting machine. Where can they find you?
We're on all platforms, Hammer, like we do every week. Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. Right now, my football package, you sign up for my football package, you get baseball and you get tennis for the rest of the year for free. My tennis pays for it by itself. And don't forget, we still got a future on Carlos Baby Go Alcaraz to win the U.S. Open. He's down to the semifinals today. Let's get that in. But you get all my plays for one price. You sign up for football, you get baseball and tennis for free. Shout out to you, Hammer, for being the captain of the ship. Thank you to the mayor of Brownsburg, and a shout out to Kenny Britt at KB Sports. Let's have a good week, guys, and don't forget to follow Number Fade.
All right, we're not done. No. We have got some more action. I will drive you to the prop shop. We will ball on a budget. If you're a tightwad or a cheap ass like Rob Kendall is, he will have a parlay bet for you that will give you a full day's worth of enjoyment as you watch the games. And Mr. Monday Night, Rob Kendall, he's got to play on the Bears hosting the Vikings. We've got all of that when we come back. We are rolling here. Back on the Degenerates Next Door. Get the keys ready. Grab your wallet. We're going to make a little roadie.
Yeah.
Down to the prop shop, baby.
I take it to the
Prop.
shop. I let you lick the lollipop. Go ahead, girl, don't you stop. Keep on going till you hit the
Prop. Taking you down to the prop shop. Now, earlier in the show, for tonight, I'm on Dak Prescott, over 36.5 attempts. A.J. Brown, anytime touchdown. You heard Kenny Britt earlier. He's on Williams, over 34.5 in terms of rushing. As for the other games, let's look at the Indianapolis Colts and the Miami Dolphins. I think we may be the only ones looking at that game. I have no idea what to expect from the Colts or the Dolphins. Neither one of these teams I think are very good. But what we do know is that Daniel Jones is the starting quarterback, and I think he's going to be Danny Dink and Dunk.
Yeah.
So that's why I want Ty Warren, Colts rookie tight end, over 3.5 catches. I wish I could find that number a little higher because there's a little juice attached to this, but the number that I see listed right now, over 3.5 receptions, Colts rookie tight end Ty Warren.
Here's what you got going in your favor. The Bears were on the clock at 9 or 10. They could have taken that dude from Michigan or Ty Warren. They took Loveland Lovelace, whatever his name is, which means Ty Warren will become a superstar in this league because the Bears took the other guy.
And it ain't like Danny Dimes is going to be airing it down the field. It's going to be a lot of dink and dunk, and this is where your first-round tight end comes into play.
Ty Warren's line every game since the Bears didn't take him. 14 catches, 187 yards, 3 touchdowns. Go get him, Hammer.
We're going to ride the lightning. We're going over. Another rookie, Travis Hunter, making his debut for the Jags. Going to be playing both sides of the ball a little bit, but let's focus on the offensive side. I'm going under 47.5. It's his first game. Usually rookie wide receivers, it takes them a little while to get going, especially for a cat that's got to learn a couple different playbooks, a defensive playbook and an offensive playbook. I think Carolina's going to make it a point. They don't want to be on the highlight of the rookie Heisman Trophy kid coming in and putting on a show. So we're going to go under 47.5 receiving yards for Travis Hunter. And keeping it with the rookie family here, Cam Ward, starting quarterback for the Tennessee Titans, over 0.5 interceptions. Again, a little more juice than I would like, but I feel pretty comfortable here. Rookie quarterbacks in week 1 since 2013, 5-12-1 against the spread. And he's going to take on a pretty good Denver team. Denver in home openers since 2000, their home opener, 14-7-4 against the spread. Rookie quarterback is not going to go in there and not throw at least one pick. We are going to go over 0.5 Cam Ward interceptions thrown. Now, for those of you who might not have a lot of money, maybe you spent too much last weekend on Labor Day weekend, or maybe you're just a cheap bastard like Rob Kendall, here is how you can have a full Sunday of NFL fun for very little money. We call it balling on a budget.
this happens to be a $100 minimum bet table, perhaps you'd be more comfortable at one of our lower stakes tables.
Oh! All right, you cheapskates. It's time for Rob Kendall's Ballin' on a Budget.
Very tight with $1.
You are the cheapest man alive?
That's right.
It's not that you're poor. You're just very, very cheap.
That's right.
How can we have a full Sunday of fun for very little money?
You'll find money buried all over my backyard when I pass away in tin cans.
Coffee cans like Cousin Eddie.
Hey, by the way, can I just point out, this is radio, so you can't see it, but the disdain on your face when you said you may not have a lot of money, you looked like Kevin Bacon in Animal House. Those guys roll into the fraternity. Okay.
Would you like some punch and cookies?
Okay, here's what we got. I'm calling this the We're Playing Teams That Suck Balling on a Budget.
Very creative.
And I'm taking some teams that are decent, and they're playing teams that suck, and you put them all together, and you got a decent little payout. So we got the Commanders minus 270 versus the Giants. Cardinals, these are all money line bets, by the way. Cardinals minus 290 versus the Saints. Broncos minus 430 versus the Titans, and the Bengals minus 230 versus the Browns. Commanders over the Giants, Cardinals over Saints, Broncos over Titans, and Bengals over Browns, all money line. You put those together, you get plus 225, which means a $10 bet would pay you $22.59.
There you go. You double your money. You get a full day's worth of fun. You don't have to worry about point spreads. It's just money line. Keep an eye on the Giants, kid.
I know you love Jackson Dart. I was on Jackson Dart last year.
Russell Wilson, Jackson Dart. I'm just telling you, divisional dogs. You know where I'm at on this.
How long do you give it before they say, all right, Russell Wilson, you out of here. Dart, you in?
Boy, the media in New York will be ready for that week 1 if WrestleMania plays like ass.
Yeah.
But realistically, maybe week 5, 6.
Yeah.
But I don't think the Giants are going to get blown out in that game at all.
No, I agree. That's why I put it on the money line.
All right. We've got one more pick to go. If you've had bad luck on the Thursday game, bad luck on the Friday game, maybe you crapped the bed on college football Saturday and Sunday NFL didn't do it for you, fear not. Here to bail your weekend of gambling out, putting on the cape, coming out of the phone booth, Mr. Monday Night, Rob Kendall.
All right, so this game is Stinksville. I wish we could have flipped games because I would have loved to have that Thursday night game because I think you got gold on that.
See, I like this.
I know, that's
Monday
what I'm saying.
game.
I wish we could have flipped the games and I could have done Thursday because I like your bet. This is a hard one. So it's the Bears getting 1.5 points at home against the Vikings. Hammer, you know, on those web ads you see like on your Facebook page and stuff or in social media about meet attractive singles, and it's always a picture of some hot chick.
Right.
And then if you actually use the app, it's probably somebody who looks like Vicki Lawrence from Mama's Family.
Good Lord. Vicki Lawrence taking some shrapnel here today.
This is what I need J.J. McCarthy to be. I need him to be the guy that looks good in the ad, but he plays like Vicki Lawrence looks. Because
I don't feel comfortable with this Vicki Lawrence slander. I don't really feel comfortable with that.
Well, it's just the first unattractive woman I thought of in the costume. She may have been very attractive in person.
I mean, of all the unattractive women in the world, you picked Vicki Lawrence out of the fishbowl. You could have had Joy Behar. You could have had Nancy Pelosi. You could have had any one of those old hags.
Look, I think, isn't that horrible? That was the first woman I thought of. Vicki Lawrence.
I don't feel comfortable with that at all.
Look, I think J.J. McCarthy is going to have a big learning curve in what is essentially a rookie season. Now, I know Caleb Williams. And trust me, boy, do I know. Do I know that Caleb Williams isn't great? But I think he's less bad than J.J. McCarthy as a rookie. Here's the real deal, though. The Bears weren't nearly as bad as their record last year. They lost 3 games solely because Matt Eberflus was the coach. They lost a game because a guy wasn't paying attention during a Hail Mary. They would have been an 8-9 team instead of 5-12 had anybody, including a fan out of the stands, been the coach. Ben Johnson, he's not screwing around. He's from the Dan Campbell coaching tree. After this week, I'll go to the old tried and true of bet against the Bears whenever possible, but I've got to cheer for him week 1, and this is an ESPN game, right?
Yes.
That means I got to go to my old man's house because I don't got the cable to watch
this. You're the cheapest man alive.
And I can't be my dad will throw me out of the house if I'm rooting against the Bears to win a $5 bet. So I got to go with the Bears, getting 1.5 points.
For those who think we make up how cheap you are, that last sentence just encompasses everything. You're bragging about a $5 bet and having to go to your dad's house because he has the ESPN. Jesus Christ, Rob. Like, you've got money. You're #1 rated radio host in middays. I know you've got money, but you are the cheapest bastard alive.
I told my wife last night, we were talking about something, and I said, look around. Look at all that you have. She's like, I live in a 1,600 square foot brick ranch home on 1/3 of an acre.
Across the street from your dad. Hey, I love that Bears pick, though, man. I'm on the Bears. I'm with you. Divisional dogs, say it with me, since 2008. Home divisional dogs, 24-7 against the spread.
That's good numbers. Except, have you seen the Bears?
All right, let's recap the board here. I am on Dim Boys tonight. Dallas Cowboys, I'll take the 8.5. I'll take Buffalo getting 1.5 that I see at FanDuel. I would take it on the money line anyway. I'll take the Buffalo Bills at home. Rob, you're on the over with that Bills and Ravens game?
I'm looking forward to a 14-10 affair. Yes, I'm over 50.5.
Chicago Football Bears catching the points at home. Kenny Britt, he is on the under in the Bills and Ravens. He likes the Falcons with 1.5. David Stephanoff, Fall and Never Fade. He's with you, Rob. He's riding that over on the Bills and Ravens, and he's got the Bengals -3 first half. And if you want to hear the prop bets and the balling on a budget and everything else, go back and re-listen to this show and the full podcast. Hey, tell your friends about us, man. Nobody's having more fun doing this than we do. We do the college show every Tuesday, the NFL show every Thursday. For the unofficial mayor of Brownsburg, Rob Kendall. For Kenny Britt of KB Sports. For David Stephanoff of Follow Never Fade, I'm Jason Hammer. Good luck. Merry Degenerate Christmas, and as always, may the odds be ever in your favor.